Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to Words from a Friend podcast. I'm your host, Marty Carey, and this is the podcast that follows my book, Words from a Friend, a daily guide to a purposeful life. It's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. It's a 365-day inner journey, and we're on day 37 of that journey. And it is actually the February 6th installment in the book. And it is a continuation of yesterday, which was re-entering the flow. And this is the flow continued, okay? The practice of re-entering the flow is a learned ability to shift your thoughts and feelings upward on the scale and returning yourself to the middle of that beautiful river, that stream. You can think of it as a stream. It's nicer to think of it as your stream. You're right in the middle of the stream. Your oars are in the boat. You're letting the good flow carry you that day, right? Good mindset. Body feeling good because you gave it a lot of rest. Mind is in check. And you're wishing the best for yourself for that day. That's your intention. And you're wishing the best for everybody else. That's your mindset. That's an open mindset. And it is connected to the heart, so it is connected to the divine. Okay? It's a divine mindset. Or positive mindset is a divine mindset. It is the highest mindset that we carry in our human journey. Because it's the forever mindset. It is the one that guides, the one that brings dreams to reality, the one that watches over and protects, and the one that helps us to expand, the one that helps us to see through bullcrap, like we're all seeing through now, and the one that helps us come together in the thing that connects us all, our light. That is the highest, best connection for any relationship, and that includes the one all around the world right now. We're plugging in, we're tuning in, we're saying yes to our light because the darkness has had its day. We're all turning on. We're all agreeing to disagree with the old world. And the new world is us saying, no more bullshit, right? None of that produced stuff. As we see through it, it's such fakery and it's just covering up such corruption and garbage and evil, just evil. It's covering up evil, man. All of it. The whole show is just disgusting. So we're saying no to that. See ya. And we're going ahead with something much better. Our light joined together for the right reason. Because there's only one. We're all part of it. We're all part of that one light we call God. That's it. That's the truth. This is a podcast about the truth. And hoping that you realize it and maybe helping you to realize it. It's going to be something on your own. You know, everybody realizes in their own time. But if this can be a catalyst to go inside and work on yourself, ask the right questions and say, oh, yeah, it is gross out there. I don't want that grossness in me anymore. I want my light to burn all that away, bring the truth in every part of my life, you know, in every relationship, and just it's for the best, man. That's where you have the best fun for your ride. You don't have to think about all that stuff because you're in check. You are in check. You keep yourself in check. So then you're the beneficial presence to your life. And that's what comes back to you. Beneficial stuff. You know, the light returns to your doorstep. The other stuff is just garbage that keeps things stagnant in the old way. So much new stuff coming, but the greatest gift to humanity is remembering that we're the light. And the costumes that we wear, it's like being in Halloween. Once we take them off, we realize, oh man, you know, we were just trick-or-treating here for a long time. You know, that's basically it. You take off the mask of the ego and we're all the light back there going, hey, I played this cool character. Hey, I played not a great character. But I'm glad that I remembered so that I can now play a much brighter, more truthful life. You know, drag your character along. You don't have to drag it along kicking and screaming. You just got to realize the truth. And then the ego says, you know, you're doing what? You don't believe that I'm you? This is just it? No, I don't. It's because it's not. You're a human being. Remember, being is the biggest part of you. That's the higher self, the being part. The human should be learning from the being and growing within being the being. And that's what happens here. That's what we're really here for. We think we're here for a lot of other stuff, but we're here to remember we're the light, bring it forth, serve humanity with it. That's it. Just your own unique way. That's the beautiful part about it. We're singular in that way. We're singular yet part of the great one, the great oneness, right? The universe. Unit, one, verse, song. The one song. We are all notes of that one song. Okay? Beautiful notes. Play your beautiful note and then wait till you see. It's like all of a sudden the world comes together and it's in tune. It's in tune like a beautiful orchestra. That's what remembrance will be. It comes together like a beautiful orchestra going, no more of the story. No more of the Oz spirit, right? Scarecrow and the lion and the Tin Man. That was the story. It was basically like a big metaphor for what we're doing. We're pulling back the curtain of the stupid wizard telling us who we are and what we don't have. And we're saying, oh man, no more tail wagging the dog. No more of that. We see you. We see it. Okay? It's gross and we're leaving it together. Okay? The world would be a much better place, wouldn't it? And that's what we're doing. We're not waiting. We're not waiting for the rest. They'll come along. They will come along. Anchor your light. Anchor your light is the truth of this place and live from that. That's where your true power is, to bring to your doorstep everything that feels good about being here, and about realizing that this doesn't end. We don't end. So while we're here, we're meant to do good things. We're meant to do bright, fun things with our talents, our gifts, You know what they are. Nurture them, water them, share them. That is why you're here. Make sure your light is the main ingredient in all of it. Putting your love into your cooking, putting your love into that work you do, putting your love into your family, putting your love into creating, because it's all creating. You just got to remember what you're creating with or through. Are you creating through your ego? You're going to create a crappy day. You're going to create through your light. You're going to have a meaningful, purposeful day, even if there's some crap in there. It's a much better day because you've taken on the challenge of potential crap, which, this earth loves to have at any time. So, being ready for the crap is just saying, I know who I am and I can handle it. I can handle it with my life. They say God doesn't give you anything you can't handle, but boy, I've been through some things I didn't think I could handle. I've been through them too, just like you. But you come through, and then you realize, oh man, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger still. Doesn't make that any easier, right? I know that. We all know that. Okay? But the best thing is you being your own lantern through it. Okay? And having those lanterns around you because you've created such a beautiful family that they're always there for you. Or if you've created such a beautiful circle of friends that they're always there for you because you're always there for them. That's the circle of love. Am I going to sing the Lion King song, or is that the circle of life? Whatever, this is the thing, and that's what it's for. It is your main tool of life for everything good that you'll look back upon when you're on the other side and say, I had made a good decision to be consistent with my light. That's it. That's the secret sauce. Consistent with your light. You do it anyway. You just got to get past your own ego to get past others. You learn to go right on by them because, not interested anymore. No, what's that sound like? Gossip? Nah, not interested anymore. What's that sound like? So somebody talking somebody bad, Nope, I'm here to talk about good stuff and good things about people. That's what I want going out into the ether. The ether is what we think of as just air all around us. But the ether is pure potential energy, pure creative energy. Like they say, you can pull it out of the ether and bring it into the physical. We do it. It starts with an idea. And then we as physical beings start to construct and pull in people from other places that can help us to construct our vision and bring it into physical reality and bless humanity with something great, something fun, something full of light. No more creating stuff that's going to harm humanity, right? No more of that. Not on this ride. You know, we learned from our darkness finally and said, thanks, I don't need the contrast of you anymore to realize that I'm the light and knowing what I have to do. Whenever you're around, I know my job. I know what it is. It's always the same. It's always the same. So listen to it. Listen and grow. Listen and grow. Always remember you never produce anything truthful, lasting, or worthwhile from this place. The ego demands. Let me go back on that. I'm sorry. The practice of re-entering the flow is a learned ability to shift your thoughts and feelings upward on the scale and returning yourself to the middle of the river instead of the jagged rocks on either side. It's a conscious choice to let go of the ego's demands to become a reactive, negative field of energy. That's what we become, right? We become a reactive field of energy. Watch out, right? Woo-hoo. Anger takes us out of our center and wields it in a different way. And I know that's tough because if you got something like that, I know that's not easy. It's not. But I've seen people do it where, you know, you can do some of that so they know who's in charge, right? And if they don't go with the flow of how this company works, well, then there's some issues. But you can have that talk without being the explosive, reactive person, you know, as much as possible. You know, I'm not saying you're perfect. Nobody, none of us, right? It's work. It's just personal work. And it's not supposed to be easy because when you overcome something like that and you become a more even-keeled presence in your own company, like if you're the head of your own company, you become more even-keeled because you decide to work on yourself some more and be more beneficial presence. You'll see the reaction and the response. You have more people that stay with you forever. You know, they become very loyal because they know you care. They know that you work on yourself, and that's going to be inspiration for those people that work for you. But look what he did. Look what he did. It's beautiful. So, anyway, this is part of staying in the flow. It's part of staying in the flow. The ego, when it wants to demand, that's all the ego does is demand. It wants to control, and it uses demanding. You know, it uses, just a crappy attitude and, aggressive attitude to enforce its will. You know, that is not good in a relationship. You know, there's lots of relationships that have that controlling person, right? And the other person that they're controlling, you know, they stay loyal, but they're not happy about it. Just so you know, they're not happy about that. No, you got to try to do everything you can to make sure these, pouring into your cup. But you can't be the heavy of a relationship. You got to be the right. That's leading. Leading energy should be kind. Should be compassionate. It should be, you know what? I talked really nasty to you right there. I had my ego out. You know, it's something that I learned. You know, you can learn that from a parent where they use their gruffness as their way of life. And people, they're so prickly that that's how they seem to protect themselves. But inside, they've got a huge, beautiful heart. Huge and beautiful. But that's how they've learned to protect themselves and say, no way. Nobody's going to walk on me. This is strength. It's projected. It's projected strength, but it isn't really strength. The strength is being able to be vulnerable and compassionate and saying, my partner is the most important thing in the world to me. You know, I want to stay in the flow with each other. That flow has to be to and fro, or it gets blocked. And next thing you know, you're back in high school and you're doing stuff and one person's getting subjugating to a controller in the relationship. And it's not a healthy relationship. It's not healthy, even though they last forever sometimes. How many times have we seen that in parents? They stay together forever. One has been, beating the crap out of the other one with ego because they didn't know. And they've seen it and they said, that's how my mom controlled her world. That's how my dad controlled his world. And, and I felt like that was the way I needed to be. I thought that was leading my family and being that way. But what happens is it pushes people away. It's a repellent energy, control, because it has fear in it. Like if you don't do what I want and I'm going to raise my voice to get you to do it, just the tone of your voice makes somebody go inside, okay, I better get to do what they're doing, want to do, or else I'm in trouble somehow. And then it's going to be a whole night of drama. Oh man, no, don't do it. You got to pour into each other's cup. Pouring drama comes from that need to control, need to be right all the time. That need to be right is hurting your relationships. Here to tell you. Need to be right is hurting your relationships. Because why do you want to talk down to somebody? They didn't know something that you know. All of a sudden you're okay, I'm higher up here than you. It's nonsense. If you've got something that you know, and you don't have to say to somebody like they're in your tone that they're dumb, or just write out that, hey, you're dumb. Well, you didn't know that? Man, that's your ego. I had to kick that out of your house. Kick that out of your house. You're putting people down in your own family, right? And probably in your highest relationship. It's one thing if you do it, you're doing it teasingly, but it's another thing if it's really an issue, and it can be very easily, because there's lots of people that are living with the narcissist, empath type situation. It's very old-fashioned. It wasn't, so it seemed like that back in the day when, it was, what was that show that was on, for the heck of me, I don't know, back in the 60s. At any rate, it seems like, every good relationship is one that's giving back to each other. And you stay in that flow, you stay humorous, and you don't take your own ego seriously. That's the problem. We take our ego seriously, like it's us. It is not. You're supposed to grow out of that ego. You're supposed to grow out of it. Yes, right? You're growing out of emotional immaturity. The ego is emotionally immature because it just rides on its emotions. If I think something's going on, I better show some emotion so everybody knows what's going on here, and they better just back off. Oh, man. Well, everybody's going to back off. And if that's your way all the time, they're going to back off permanently over time. Energy. It's energy. What do you want? Do you want closeness in your relationships? Then you can't be the bull in a china closet with the closest that you're with. I've seen it a million times, right? It's not good. It's hurting. It's not helping. It's not growing a relationship at all. It's stagnant energy. Everybody's just playing their role. No, it's more than that. There's way more than that you can have in any part of your marriage, any part of your life, any part of your friendships. There's way more than that. It's just an old play with old characters that you haven't sent off the stage from your character. Okay? It's the best advice. Listen, I'm in the wedding business, and I would give anybody the advice if they're getting married. You got to pour into each other's cups, and you better have a great sense of humor about your own ego. Okay? So that you can laugh at yourself. And because if that's not the case, you're going to get stuck, and you're going to get stuck in, mine versus yours, rather than let's just have some fun together. We don't need to do that stuff that our parents did. You may be living your parents' relationship. So many people do that. That's their model. And you choose which parent seems to dominate, right? You have the hand. Well, the hand. You want the upper hand. You know what I mean? Good Lord. Okay. How about just love? You know what I mean? Wanting the best for each other. And keeping that in as the main energy of the home. Because there's an energy to your home. There's a page in here about the energy of your home. You're creating it. You create a Shangri-La, or you create a whatever. You can create a chaos. You could create, there's an energy to your home, and there's a pattern to that too. So what do you want? Have you looked at it? Are you willing to look at it? Are you willing to look at yourself? This is the inner journey. It's not always fun, believe me. I've been in there looking at stuff that I don't like about me too, and having to let a lot of that stuff go. So that's what it's about. But you are going to be your own hero for it. It feels good to be free of it. It feels good to be free, more free. And that's what growth is. You're more free from your ego so that you're living easier about everything. You don't want to grow old and crotchety. No, don't grow old and let your ego take you into just mediocre town. No, grow until you go. Your light, use your light. So today, if you find yourself on the rocky shore instead of the flow, remember who you really are. Rise above petty arguments. Apologize if you're out of sorts or you're using that tone of I'm somehow superior to you in every way, and it's just your ego. You know what I mean? Never try to defend a bad attitude. Own up to it and say, you know what? If people just said, hey, listen, my ego's got me right now. I just need some time to get back. Thank you, guys. Pardon me. People could say that, and they took account for what's going on inside them and just spit it out. Everybody would run around you and say, let me help you get out of there, get you in a headlock and say, come here, you. Let me help you up. That's when people want to come to your rescue. It's when you Gatling gun it all over the place that people are going to run in the other direction. Do you want help? If you don't want help, do you just want peace? Let people know what you need. It's hard for the ego to spit it out because you don't want people to think you don't have control of yourself in some way. None of us have control of ourselves all the time. You know what I mean? None of us. So if you learn to communicate and ask for what you want, ask for what you need, you're 90% more likely to get what you need. Okay? All right. CTA, remember that you are a piece of the divine. You're it. All right? And this is your divine mindset. Remember that. The flow is you're using your divine mindset. You are meant to be in the flow. You feel it when you're not, don't we? We all know that. Let this be your guide back where you belong. All you'll ever need is found in the flow. It's God's plan for you. That's the flow. God's plan. Staying in there. Staying in using your higher tools. When you fall off, get back up, get back in the flow. Doesn't matter how many times, you know that. God gives us unlimited time. Well, not unlimited time, clearly. Unlimited chances. We wake up every day. God gives us that day. You know what you got to do. Now you got a purpose. You got a great purpose, right? Whatever it is that you do, you infuse this in that. That makes that purpose. Whew, light on fire. Light on fire. Okay? So, never give up. Never give in, right? Faith over fear. God over everything. Spread the light today. Much love, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.